Okay, everybody, get ready, because today we're talking about turning back the clock. But hold the phone. We're not talking about any crazy time travel gadgets. We're diving into jogging, especially for you seniors out there.
That's right, and we're not just talking about a light jog in the park. We're going to uncover how this activity can seriously boost your health as you age.
I gotta admit, when I first heard we were doing a deep dive on jogging for seniors, I thought, really? Is that all? But then I dug into the research he sent over.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what a little jogging can do, huh?
It blew my mind. We always hear the same old advice, eat your veggies, stay active, yada, yada, yada. But this is different. This is like jogging gives your body the tools to fight aging head on.
I like how you put that, fight aging head on. That's what we're all about.
So what are we waiting for? Let's jump right into it. What's one of the biggest benefits that really stood out to you in the research?
You know, for me, it was the bone density factor. We hear so much about osteoporosis as we age, but jogging can actually help strengthen those bones.
Okay, so instead of chugging down that glass of milk every day, all we need is a good jog. Just kidding. Gotta get that calcium in too, right?
Right, gotta have that balanced diet. But seriously, jogging is a fantastic way to build bone strength.
I'm all ears. Break it down for us. How does that even work?
It's all about this thing called weight-bearing exercise. That impact from jogging, even if it's gentle, it sends these signals to your bones. It's basically telling them, hey, you gotta toughen up.
So every step we take is like a mini workout for our bones. I never thought of it like that.
It's like a little wake-up call, keeping them strong and active.
Sign me up for that. Now, what about the mental side of things? Does jogging affect us up there too? I know when I move my body, my mind feels sharper.
You're definitely onto something. The research we looked at found some amazing benefits for brain power too.
Like what? Spill the beans.
Well, first off, you get that blood pumping, more blood flow to the brain, which is always a good thing. Then there's the surge of those feel-good endorphins. You know, the ones that make you feel happy and energized.
Okay, so we're talking clearer thinking, better mood, maybe even a little pep in our step.
Exactly. And some studies even show jogging might help reduce anxiety and those down-in-the-dumps feelings we all get sometimes.
Whoa, so jogging is like hitting the refresh button on our brains, both physically and mentally.
You could say that. But look, it's not about magically turning back the clock, right? It's about working with our bodies as we get older, not against them. And that's where understanding the do's and don'ts of jogging comes in, especially for seniors just starting out.
That's a really good point. We definitely don't want anyone running a marathon on day one. What's the #1 rule for seniors who are new to jogging?
Start slow and steady, my friend.
Slow and steady wins the race, right?
Exactly. Don't go from 0 to 60. Think of it like easing into a nice warm bath, not jumping into a freezing cold pool.
Okay, I like that. Gentle and gradual. What does that look like, practically speaking? Are we talking a leisurely stroll around the block to start?
Even better. Think walk-jog combos. Start with a brisk walk to get warmed up, then sprinkle in these little bursts of jogging. As you get stronger, you can gradually jog a little more and walk a little less.
Walk a bit, jog a bit. Got it. Find our rhythm. Don't want to overwhelm our bodies. Okay, what about gear? I've always heard good shoes are important, but is it even more crucial as we age?
You hit the nail on the head. And it's not just about comfort, although, let's be real, nobody wants achy feet. It's about protecting those precious joints.
Yeah, my knees are already starting to protest at the thought of pounding the pavement.
Exactly. The right shoes are like shock absorbers, cushions for your joints, especially your knees and hips, which tend to take a beating.
Okay, so no skimping on the shoes. Duly noted. What else is on the jogging must-do list?
Stretching. Warming up and cooling down might seem like a hassle, especially if you're just starting with short jogs, but trust me, it's a game changer.
So important. What's the best way to warm up for jogging, especially if you haven't been too active lately?
Dynamic stretches are your best friend. Think of movements that get your blood pumping, your joints nice and loose. Leg swings, arm circles, maybe some torso twists, all that good stuff. And when you finish your jog, some gentle stretches held for like 30 seconds will work wonders.
So we're talking pre-jog, pep talk, post-jog, high fives for our muscles. I like it.
Exactly. Now, another thing that often gets overlooked, especially as we age.
Let me guess, staying hydrated.
Bingo. Our bodies are like those old cars. Sometimes the gauges get a little wonky. We might not feel thirsty until we're already dehydrated, and that's risky business, especially when we're exercising.
So water breaks are a must, even for a quick jog.
Absolutely. A good rule of thumb is to drink some water before you head out, during if your jog is long enough, and always after to replenish.
Stay ahead of that thirst. Good advice. Now, before we move on, any other golden rules for senior jogging success?
Oh yeah, don't forget about the buddy system.
Find a jogging partner.
Exactly. Having a buddy keeps you accountable, makes it more fun, and let's be real, sometimes you just need that extra push to get out the door, right?
Plus, there's safety in numbers, especially if you're jogging in a park or on trails.
Exactly. 2 sets of eyes are always better than 1.
Okay, so we've covered the do's. Start slow, get those awesome shoes, warm up, stay hydrated, and grab a friend. Now, what about the don'ts? I'm betting there are some common jogging traps people fall into. I'm ready to hear about those jogging traps. Spill it.
Oh, I see it all the time. People get so excited they want to dive right in, push themselves to the limit.
Oh, you mean like catch the jogging bug and suddenly think you're going to run a marathon? Yeah, I can see how that could be a problem, especially as we get older.
Exactly. Enthusiasm is great, but you got to remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And one of the biggest mistakes is forgetting about rest days.
Rest days. But I thought the whole point was to get moving.
It is. But those rest days, they're not for slackers. They're for smart joggers. See, as we get older, those muscles, they need a little extra time to recover, to rebuild. You know what I mean?
Okay, so rest days are like giving our bodies a chance to catch up, to bounce back stronger. Got it. I can get behind some strategic relaxing. But speaking of things that change as we get older, what about our tolerance for, like, weather? Should we be paying more attention to that as we age?
100%. It's like our internal thermostat, it's not as reliable as it used to be. You know?
Tell me about it.
We get hotter, faster, colder, easier. So yeah, we definitely got to be more tuned in to what Mother Nature's throwing at us.
So no more toughing it out in the midday sun for us seasoned joggers. More like seeking out the shade.
Now you're getting it. Mornings and evenings, those are your best bets for beating the heat.
Makes sense. Okay, what about this? How do we know the difference between discomfort, you know, like a good muscle soreness, and actual pain, the kind that's telling us to stop?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's all about listening to your body, learning those signals. Some muscle soreness after a jog, that's normal, that's you earning your stripes. But sharp pain, any pain that makes you go, ouch, well, that's your body saying, hey, let's take a time out.
It's like that little voice inside saying, okay, maybe not today.
Exactly. Don't try to push through it. Better to be safe than sorry. Take a break. See how you feel. If it's still bugging you, go see a doctor.
Always good advice. Now, what about this whole pavement pounding thing? The research we read seemed pretty adamant about avoiding hard surfaces, especially for seniors. What's the deal with a little concrete?
Remember we talked about those joints, how important it is to protect them? Well, concrete, it's not their best friend. Every step, it's like sending shock waves through your body. And that impact, it adds up.
So what's the alternative? We all jogging on pillows now.
Not quite. But think softer surfaces, well-maintained trails, maybe a grassy path, even a track at a local park. They give you that little bit of cushion, a little more love for those joints.
Swapping the concrete jungle for something a little softer. Okay, that makes sense. Any other jogging don'ts we should be aware of?
One more that comes to mind, and this one might seem obvious, but don't overestimate your abilities.
Oh, I am so guilty of this, not just with jogging.
It's so easy to get caught up in the moment. You're feeling good, maybe a little too good, and then bam, you overdo it.
Been there, ouch. So it's all about finding that sweet spot, right? Challenging ourselves, but listening to our bodies at the same time.
You got it. Not too much, not too little. It's about making jogging something you can do for the long haul, something that becomes a natural part of your life.
Which is what this whole deep dive is all about, giving people the tools and the confidence to get out there and jog, no matter how many candles are on their birthday cake.
Love it.
So, before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of all this great jogging wisdom.
Sounds good to me. We covered a lot of ground today. We talked about how jogging, even later in life, can actually strengthen those bones, give our brains a boost, and even lift our mood. Who knew a simple jog could do all that?
Right. It's like a magic pill without the pill. And then we dug into those essential do's for senior joggers.
Starting slow, that's key. That walk-jog combo, brilliant for easing in. And of course, those comfy shoes. Can't forget those.
Absolutely. Got to protect those joints. And what else? Oh yeah, warming up, cooling down, staying hydrated.
And don't forget about finding a jogging buddy.
So important. It's like having your own personal cheer squad. Okay, now for those jogging don'ts. The traps we want to avoid.
Right. We talked about not doing too much too soon, listening to our bodies, respecting those rest days,
And being mindful of the weather, knowing the difference between good soreness and bad pain.
and swapping out that concrete for some softer surfaces. Gotta love those joints.
So much good stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired. I might just have to dust off my own running shoes.
That's what I like to hear. Remember, it's never too late to lace up and enjoy those incredible benefits.
And on that inspiring note, we've reached the finish line of this deep dive into jogging for seniors. But before we go, I want to leave you with a little something to think about. We've talked a lot about the physical perks, right? But what about the mental and emotional ones, especially as we age? Could jogging, even just a little bit, boost our confidence, help us feel more connected to our bodies, to the world around us? Just some food for thought as you head out on your own jogging journey. Thanks for joining us, everybody.